Hello there folks, today we're going to take a look at the game called Lunar Base. It's published by Plepic Games. It's on Kickstarter right now and it's going to be delivered probably in December as I understand, or January. But this is a 2 to 6 player strategy card game which takes place in space. The theme is a bit abstractish, but it's an Estonian design, so I'm kind of excited about that. So let's take a look at how the game works. So I'm just gonna show you how this game works. It's not a full setup. It kind of is. So everybody gets their circular kind of a stats monitoring thing where you can see you need to get 10 colonies in order to win, or you need to get 5 different scientific achievements to win, or you need to get 20 credits to win. And there's also 4 influence in your hand. These are special influence cards, which is like a small mini expansion in this game. Well, alright, let's take a look at how this game works. So you have your own terrain outpost, which is your base, where you have those main actions. And during your turn, you can do one main action, one of those that you can see here on this card. Then later on, you will also build extra cards in your base, and thus you will have more main actions to choose from. For example, if you will have this card in your base in the future, as you can see, you can build, draw, and discard all at the same time. And there's also those symbols that you want to get. But at the beginning of the game, you will get 3 cards into your hand. And then, before playing the main action, before choosing the main action from your base, you can play as many agent cards from your hand as you want. And these agent cards give you extra abilities or extra actions, or they are those take that cards, the steal cards from the other players, or steal credits, or discard cards from the other players. And in the corner here you have a cost, and the cost is always in credits. And why those circles are different colors, that's because as you're building up your base, as you can see here, there are those half circles, and if you connect circles of the same color, and you cannot connect circles of the different color anyway, then if they become full circles, then now you have a discount of this color when you're playing the new card. So for example, the Mormon says I need to play 2 red and 2 blue circles, which is basically 4 credits. I need to play 4 credits. But because I have 2 full blue circles in my base here, now I can skip those blue circles here and pay only for 2 red, which is 2 credits. So I'm paying 2 credits less. And if I create, for example, this way I can put them in any way rotation I want. If later on I create this kind of stuff here, I can play this card for free. So that's how the circles work. This is how it's kind of a tile placement works. Now we're gonna take a look at those different actions you can do. So as I told you, can play as many agent cards as you want before your one main actions. And through main action, you can choose one main action only. And here's the draft, there's the build, there's resell and draw. So draft basically means you just take a card from the center, from those available. Yeah, and you take it into your hands. If you want to draw something, you draw it from the deck. That's very easy. If you want to build something, that's what I told you. When you're building, you're paying the cost of the card that you're building. You are building those modules. And then you're going to add the module into your empire, into your base, trying to connect the circles and trying to get more discounts. And these discounts are accumulated basically, so they're always there. Now you always have 2 blue circles less to pay. And then there's also resell. Resell means that you choose some of the cards from the center and then you put them away and you take 1 credit for each card. That's the resell. And once there are no cards in the center, then you will refill it. You will not refill it automatically after buying at least 1 card from here. You will refill when it's empty. And while you're refilling, then you will take a look at your base here, and for every full, yellow circle, you will also gain credits. As I told you, you need to get 20 credits to win the game, or 5 scientific symbols, or 10 colonies, or 10 influence, which is a mini expansion. And as you can see here, there's also that gray half circle as well here. And these are wild, so you can connect any circle, any half circle to that gray circle, and it becomes that color, which is also nice. And as I told you, you can see here, for example, with the fusion, you can build, then draw, and then discard, all at the same time. And there are those different ones. Let's take a look at them. You can draw 2 cards and then draft a card, the symbols, and there's also the text. And for example, discard all your cards. But it will give you a ton of gray circles, which are wild circles, which is nice. And it will give you the scientific symbol. And as you can see, you can have those different scientific symbols. And here, if you manage to build them into your empire, into your base, and you get to 5, you immediately win the game. And here you have the colonists with the same issue here. You need to get those colonists into your base. You need to build those cards into your base, these modules. And then when you get to 10 of them, you will win the game. So what other cards we have? As I told you, we have aging cards here. And for example, this aging card has the take that element in there. As you can see here, steal 3 credits from other player, or draft a card. So you can do a good thing or bad thing. It's a Panamanian broker. And, oh, by the way, here's the influence cards. And you can see draft a card, build a module. Both neighbors flip their station. So this is the double agent, it flips the stations. What that means, everybody starts with a terrain outpost. But on the other side, every player has a different kind of a station here, which is specialized on a little bit different main action. This one already has 2 yellow circles, so you have a discount of yellow circles already done. Then you have draft, build, draft, and resell. But if we take a look at the other ones, here we have draft, build, and draw. You can draw 3 cards here. You build or 2 times and draw 1, so they are a little bit different from each side. But eventually they are all the same. But if you flip them, they're flippable, you can get more benefits out of them. And to show you those influence cards, you need to get 4 influence cards to your hand. And these influence cards, they work while they are in the center, in the draft area here. When they are in the center draft area here, they will have their abilities working passively. When any player builds a dome or a Leica, you can build the dome or Leica, then that player drafts the card immediately. And also, these influence cards, they're good for repelling the take that elements that are made to you. So here we have discard this to ignore effects of an agent to you or your base. For example, in this one here we have, when you discard this influence, flip all station to terrain outposts immediately. And that's good where you don't have, it's for everyone. It's where you don't have a specialized station. You have just the usual normal terrain outpost and everybody else has a specialized station and they're kind of ahead. You can flip them all back to the basic ones. Stealing credits is forbidden. For example, while this one is here, stealing credits is forbidden. Or drafting other influence before this one is forbidden. So on this influence card, they stay here. If nobody claims them from this draft position here, you will always have new cards coming up, and it can create a moment when you have a ton of cards in the drafting area, because there's always 5 new cards coming out if those usual cards are gone from the center. And that's basically the whole game. You get to the certain condition and you win the game. Let's get to my final thoughts. First of all, I want to mention that this is a prototype, so this is a preview, not a review of a full production game. So I will not give out my ratings or thumbs down, thumbs up, or anything like that, or Würfel medals. Let's just talk about the game a little bit. So they claim that this is a strategy card game that fits in your pocket. It doesn't really fit in my pocket, but I mean, it is small. It is small, but it's a smart game. It is a strategy game here. Now they claim it takes 30 minutes. I feel that it might take 45 minutes if you're really good at this game. If you are the designers of this game, knowing this game through and through, all the cards through and through, yeah, you can play in 30 minutes. But it also depends on the situation, because this is a game that is a race to, not points, but race to different winning conditions. So I feel like it was inspired by Sonda's Duel, where you also have those different winning conditions you pursue, like science, war, and victory points. Here you have 20 credits, or 10 colonists, or 5 scientific symbols, what to say, achievements, or if you add the mini expansions of influences, then 4 influences in your hands. And that's kind of cool, because now you can pursue different stuff, and if you get some cards in your hand that are not able to produce enough credits or colonists to you, then maybe you can try to pursue the scientific victory strategy there. Now, one of the strategies, the credits, I think is the most difficult one, in a way that you need to be knowing what you're really doing. The first place will be more obvious to have a strategy of colonists or the science, because with the credits you're constantly using them in order to build up yourself and get more cards out. But also, by getting more cards out, you are creating those different circles and getting those discounts. The other part, you can also lose credits because somebody can steal credits from you because of the take that element. So let's take an order. So the circles part is a nice small addition. It's nothing too special, but I like the connecting of circles and then trying to get the discounts and trying to get really powerful cards really cheap to play. Now, there's also those specific circles. I'm not talking about the wild circles, I'm talking about the yellow circles. I didn't tell you in the review, but once the draft place is empty of cards, then you will put out new cards based on the number of players, of course, and you will collect income based on how many yellow circles you have in your base build, already full yellow circles, which adds to this credit strategy. Now, if we go to the take that element, it's important in this game. And on the other hand, if you are not a take that person at all, you should avoid this game, in my opinion. And you feel like this is not a good marketing tool, I want to be honest with you. And the thing is that take that in this game is quite harsh. In some moments, for example, you can be pursued to discard some cards from your hand, and these were your cards that you wanted to play down in order to get to the scientific victory, but now you discarded them all and now you need to rebuild yourself or something like that. So it's not destroying the whole game for you, but it kind of is a huge stumble. So on the other hand, you need that take that in this game, because you're racing to those different winning conditions. If somebody is kind of more lucky with the card draw, drafting, and anything else, what cards they got in the hand in the beginning and what circles they got connected, they can really go ahead, and the only way to stop them is to use those take that cards and try to pursue your own strategy. So that's cool for someone and not so cool for the other ones. It's just your taste here. The theme is kind of abstract. While you're playing the game, you're not really thinking about the theme. So the overall feel of this game is that it really delivers as a small strategy card game. I like that. It plays different. It plays with different number of players, and it plays quite well with different number of players. I like that too. And it's from Estonian designers, and it's an Estonian design. And I'm excited about that, because usually when I look at the Estonian designs, I'm like, no, I don't want to play that. But this one got me excited, and I tried it, and then I said, yes, I'm going to do the video, because it is an exciting game. And I think this game is expandable. I think this game can benefit a lot from extra cards or some extra mechanics or modules and things that you can throw in. It will not be this small anymore, but I think this game will at some point need this more of this replayability, because all you're doing, you're connecting circles and doing almost the same main actions. The influences adds quite a lot as a module. They spice up the game. They give the benefit to everybody while they are in the draft place over there. But I feel like this game needs to be expanded beyond if you have played it enough. Not for me at this point, but I mean overall, I think if players will play a lot, then there's room for expansions, definitely. But anyway, thank you for watching, and we see you another time. And go back this game. It's really a nice game, and this is my honest opinion. I like that. See you another time. Bye bye.